In the AI world, a term that's been very popular these days is vibe coding. Before the existence of AI, coders would have to write everything from scratch and they'd take help from online resources. But it would take years to build actual knowledge and skills that are needed to create huge apps. And these days, these apps are simple to create because of vibe coding. Well, how does vibe coding work? Well, you just describe what you want in English and AI writes the code. All you have to do is guide it, and you can use the prompt techniques that we discussed in the last video. That would help because you need to guide it as much as possible when you're doing this. But you don't have to write any actual code and you don't need the skills. You just need to know what you want. But it goes further than code now. AI can browse the web, organize your desktop, and it can complete tasks while you go and do other things. So here's how vibe coding works these days. So you open your own editor that you use to code, and this is called an IDE. And then after that, you'll have some built-in chatbot that can see all of your files and then it can code for you. All you have to do is tell it what to do. Just because AI can create all these apps, it doesn't mean that you can't have any coding experience to do this. You need to have coding experience because you need to know what good code and bad code looks like. You need to know when AI is coding something that doesn't make any sense. So the point of using vibe coding is not to completely replace you as a human being, but it's to just increase your output by probably 100 times the speed that you would be able to do it on your own. But let's say you have some small project that you want to complete and it would usually take you a weekend to code. And let's say you're a really good coder and it would take you a weekend. Claude Code or some other vibe coding tool could probably do it in 20 to 30 minutes depending on how long it takes you to plan it out and give it to Claude Code. Because these AI chatbots are able to do things much faster than we humans can. Let's talk about two Anthropic tools that can be used. First is Claude Code. This is what I was talking about before, where you can have the coding assistant in your IDE that you use. And Claude Code is the most famous one. There are other ones, of course. But what makes this different than copy and pasting code from ChatGPT and then explaining your problems to ChatGPT and then it coming back? Well, instead of you having to manually upload it, and that's like kind of a context engineering, it's able to actually have access to all the files that you give it access to without you having to copy and paste it over and over again, and it can see the structure of your code base. This is the power of context engineering. You can give it all this information, and that's why it's able to perform so well. It doesn't just dump your whole code base into a prompt, though. It smartly does it. That's why it's called context engineering and not just copy and pasting your whole code base. It selectively chooses what it needs based on the prompt that you give it. So if you give a task to Claude Code, it can write the code, and it can even run tests to make sure this code works. And it can also commit it to GitHub. Those are the three main functions that Claude Code is used for. The second one is Cowork. This is not for coding, anyone can use it. It's a desktop agent that works in the background of your computer. So it can sort through your files, you can delete things that you don't want, and you can point at a folder and say, clean up this folder like this or like that, and it does it for you. But of course, this is just limited to your desktop. But AI can also use your computer. This is a pretty new concept, and it's probably not safe to just leave it without any guidance or overview, but it definitely works and it's great, as long as you're not doing any sensitive operations. You're probably confused on how AI can use your computer. Well, let me explain it to you. So let's say AI can surf the web. This means that Claude has access to the web pages that you have open. And maybe you navigate to some web page and you wanted to find the price of something and you wanted to put it in a spreadsheet that's on another page. It can do this if you tell it to. It can extract the price and then it can put it in your spreadsheet. And it's able to guide through multiple tabs. OpenAI's Operator is a similar concept too. So these two tools are able to navigate through websites like humans would. It can book reservations for you, it can fill out job applications, it can compare prices across different websites, and it's able to navigate through different tabs. It doesn't just stay at one. And then we already talked about desktop agents already, but it doesn't have to just organize files. It can also look at what's on your screen, understand what you're working on, and it can take actions based on what you're working on. So let's say that you're drafting an email. It can see the email and then try to maybe edit it and help you craft your email. And this is the shift. AI goes from answering questions in your chat window to actually doing tasks. This is what agentic AI is. It doesn't just say things, it does things. It works on actions. If you've ever heard the term AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, this is what the goal of AI is, to reach the intelligence of a human. That's what AGI is. And making it shift from just talking to actually doing actions is what helps us bring us closer to AGI. Because if it's able to take actions just like humans can, eventually it'll able to do this in a safe way. And of course, just as humans make mistakes, AI also makes mistakes too, which is why it's important to have human oversight. So now in this video, I've discussed the shift of AI just being a chatbot to actually doing things. And this can be through coding assistants, it can be through browser and desktop agents. But as you can see, AI is truly evolving. The next few videos are going to be fun. They're going to just be a bunch of demos so you can actually understand what I'm saying. Because this might not be clear to you, and especially the coding part if you're not a developer. So in the next video, we're going to do a little demo of Claude Code.